Yo, what up, man? Welcome back to another episode of Squad Talk. All right, man, here in the studio with me today, we got the homie AJ Causey. What is going on, my boy?
Oh, what's good? What's good, bro?
We out here, we chilling. He stopped by. It's been a while since the last time we had you on the show, man. Yeah. So how you been?
I've been good, man. You already know, just maintaining, staying steady with the music.
Putting in work,
bro.
You always
Every
up
day.
to something.
Always. Making sure I'm surpassing all my opponents.
There it is, man. Yeah, dude. So, like, what was the, between the last time we had you on the show and now, like, it's been a crazy time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
definitely. Between the pandemic, all the protests and stuff. So, yeah, it's been crazy.
Definitely. How was the pandemic for you, man, as an artist and just as an individual, the lockdown, all that stuff?
I think because I had just got out here, it wasn't bad for me. Like last year was good, honestly. I mean, besides everything going on and all that, and me not getting the full like LA experience as soon as I get out here. But as far as music goes, like I figured that other artists would probably settle down and so I felt like that was the perfect time for me to press on the gas and continue going forward. So like the last time I was here, the only thing I had dropped was just my introduction project. It was just an EP, five-track EP. But since then I've dropped collaboration album. You already know you was the man with the plan behind that. The collaboration album consisted of me and 22 other artists. Since then, after that, I had released a solo project as well. Mm-hmm. Still displaying my versatility on all those tracks, and then I'm about to wrap up a little Songwriters EP as well.
Right. So that project in 2020, the collaboration project, you had a lot of dope artists on there, and I know this because, like you said, I mixed it. And talk about how those relationships came to be. How did you meet some of those artists? Because a lot of them were very like diverse. Like,
oh yeah,
you had like one record that had one vibe, and then the next one had a completely different vibe. So it was a really dope project.
Definitely. A lot of those artists I had met from the spot LA, which is definitely like a second home, first home out here in LA. For me, recording studio, performance for events and everything. What happened was we were a part of High Def Cypher, the original High Def Cypher.
Yeah.
And that's why I met all those artists. And, while we were all in communication during the time when filming and everything, I just took it upon myself to, like, hey, you trying to hop on this track? I think you'll fit better here. I think you'll fit better here. Hey, you think you can do a hook here? Hey, you got me on a verse here? So it just went from there. So I just kept adding tracks and everything, kept adding artists, extending beats. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Work, definitely.
I bet it was, because you're kind of like, at that point, you're kind of like a producer, because, they always talk about like Quincy Jones that never necessarily played like the instruments, but he was still a producer, right? So like you got the vision for the project, and you're like, oh, this would go great for this artist and this and that, and you put it all together. Were you guys recording in the studio often, or everybody was off in their own studios and then they were sending you the stuff?
No. I definitely wanted to be in the studio with everybody, so I would cover studio time, or people would come over to the crib and whatnot. Only like a select few artists that our schedules just didn't go together.
Right.
That would be the only reason. But I definitely wanted to be in the studio. I'm anytime when collaborating with artists, I like to be in the studio just so that way we can have that vibe and that energy to bounce ideas off of one another.
And what about with like producers? Do you enjoy when they just send beat packs, or do you rather be in the studio with them?
I don't mind being not being in the studio with the producers. It's more so if they can kind of get a better feel for my sound, and kind of make a beat custom to my sound, or just any of my requests. Like the solo project that I released after the collaboration album, it was only one producer, and like I would just send him references. Hey, I want the tempo to be like this. I want the kick to be like this. I want some drums in the back like this. I want a synth like this, kind of like this. So like I'm pretty big on. I'm I'm not too strained on it. Well, I gotta be in the room with a producer. It does help, of course, so that way you're not doing all the back and forth and everything. Because the producer at Thanks right where I'm gonna go and shout him out down in Houston. He's from my hometown as well. Alexandria.
Fire beats.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. The back and forth, it can be a headache sometimes, but I mean I can deal with it.
Yeah, right on. I will say this, after working with you, you're very organized, right? And you're like, and that's very nice, because some people just say stuff, but they don't really, like, I don't know, it's just like, I want this and I want that, and then they're kind of going back and forth because they haven't really decided in their head. But you will send a PDF of what you want. Well, at least for the mixing process. I don't know about the production process, but for the mixing process, you'll send a PDF, right? Which is nice, because as a mix engineer, when you're going through the session, right, you're kind of like, okay, I did this, boom, that, this, boom, that, boom, okay, cool, right? Rather than just like, he said he wanted something like this, right? So I really enjoyed that. That was pretty cool, because it was the first time working with an artist that was that organized. Yeah. So would you say that you're pretty organized in general, like even out of music? Are you a pretty organized person?
Yeah. That's just part of my character.
Nice.
Definitely.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's a big thing for me too. I can't stand like clutter or just shit everywhere.
Exactly. And I wouldn't even say like I'm OCD or nothing like that. My girl might say that. But nah, I like for things to be organized. I like for things that have an order.
Like, what's one of the things organization-wise that drives you crazy? Do you have one?
The bed must be made.
Yes.
The bed must be made.
Yes, can't be like 3 PM and that shit is still.
It's not. Yeah, I would literally, like, even if I do not leave my room or go anywhere, like, I will wake up, make the bed, and then brush my teeth, put on new clothes to lay back in the bed and watch Netflix.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Have you read that book about making your bed? No. Dude, it's a great book. Let me see if I can remember it. It's pretty much, I'll just summarize it. So it's a book written by an ex-Navy SEAL.
Okay.
And it's an easy read, too. It's not too thick. It was given to me as like a Christmas gift like 2 years ago. And it pretty much talks about, the entire book is based around making your bed first, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so dope because a lot of the things in the book make sense. So pretty much he says things like, if you make your bed first of all, you're teaching yourself like a discipline, right? That every day you wake up and you do it, whether you want to do it or you don't. You make your bed, right? If you go out and you have a shitty day, at least you come home to a made bed. Yeah. Right? If you go out and you have a great day, then you come home to a made bed. It's just a bunch of great things. And the first chapter is really about the importance of small little things in life, that how you do one thing is how you do everything. Yeah. Right? And something as simple as making your bed every day can go as far as, like, really far in your life and creating positive habits. Yeah. So it's a really good book. So just check it out if you're interested in that stuff. But anyways, so cool, man. Organization, working with you was dope for that reason. Now, after that project, you said you dropped another one, and now we're here talking about 40, right? Yeah. Your Project 40. Talk about that and how that came to be. You only have 2 singles on that.
Yeah. I just wanted to. I've seen other artists do it before. Drake does it with Scary Hours and everything. 1 and 2, we have like 2 or 3 tracks, and how they've changed, like, what is what now. Like 1 to 3 tracks is considered a single. 4 to 6 or 7 tracks is considered an EP, and as little as 8 tracks is considered a full LP. And it's just like, 8 tracks, really? Yeah. I remember like way back, like when T.I. was my favorite rapper, and like most of his albums was always like 21 tracks and up.
Yeah, that was a thing, man. Yeah, but there's so many songs.
Yeah, the attention span today is just like, nah, not at all.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I personally like a big body of work, but that might just be because of our generation. Yeah, right? So definitely. It might be that. So, talking about that process, did you go through a couple of different records before you decided to keep just those 2 on that project? Or did you create those 2 and then you were like, I'm just going to release these 2 together?
Yeah, definitely. I had been through a couple of things this year, And so basically both songs, Me and You and Juice, I talk about the same things. I talk about issues with my girl. I talk about conflict I've had with friends. I talk about multiple things that I've experienced within the last few months this year. And it's what I wanted to do was have like a versus like on Instagram and whatnot, or a battle like on Spotify, and see what song people would like. I already knew which one people would like. Not everyone is gonna love the boom bap, so that's why I had the more like mainstream type song with me doing the auto tune on the hook and everything.
Right.
But it's telling the same story.
Sure.
40 is 40. My brand is GHB, Great Human Beings. And it originated in 40G, which is 40 Goodwill Apartments, where I never lived there. I grew up there, and my friends, we started recording over there because that's where they lived.
So that was a spot.
That was a spot, yeah. That was definitely the kickback spot, Monday through Sunday.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into one of those records right now. We're going to go ahead and get into Me and You. So go ahead and introduce it and take it away, man.
Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy, AJ Causey, and this is my track, Me and You. Hey, yo. Turn my mic up, son. Gotta get this off my chest. Look. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Tell me, will I fall? Tell me, will I rise up? But these haters made them all. Tell me, will I ever be come closer to my dreams? I've been out you down bad. Feel like no one on my team. Hey, kid, cut the script. Yo, I'm right here like what you mean. I've been on this journey with you since your was just a teen. In and out through every scene. You my dog, you my kin, you my brother, you my friend. Hey, yo, yo, my mind frame been up. I'm in and out it daily. All your people been folding on me, got me going crazy. Been deep in need of money, thoughts linger of moving shady. Got that loan and then poof, I guess it's back to the basics. Grinding every bone to the grizzle that's non-stop. Punching this clock when I'd rather kick it with top. Knowing this stops the reason I get a smile from my pops. He'd rather see me in corporate than see me give all I got, but I get it. Understood, but not with it. Trust I'm more sure than a fitted. Ain't on the fence about Meanwhile, my dog had to use the escape route, cause he ain't have his together. Left me out here to deal with all this bull that brought we together. I don't even mean to be upset, dog, that's just how I'm feeling. I don't care about their potential, somehow I'm the villain. Don't give a how my nigga aiming past the ceiling. Hey, yo, cars, kill that noise, keep it silent, stack a million. Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me will I fall? Tell me will I rise up, but these haters made them all. Tell me will I ever be come closer to my dreams? I've been out you down bad, feel like no one on my team. Hey kid, cut the script, yo, I'm right here like what you mean. I've been on this journey with you since your was just a teen. In and out through every scene. You my dog, you my kin, you my brother, you my friend. Hey yo, yo, this wild, I'm feeling like I'm not one of them ones. My little bro was locked down cause I ain't had the funds. And not to even mention that I lost my while I'm out here going through it, she on another, I'm on another tip, my strength gone weak. Wake in the morning, the new chopping flew away and left me burning. Her nigga came through clapping, acting like he bout that action. I walk it down, ain't never down for moving backwards, boy. You made soft suds, a salad that get tossed up. Put pressure on your chest, boy. Bench press, now boss up. Jealousy's ahead of me, but yet I whip the recipe. Hesitant and fear, I'll be the one my friends forgetting. Cause my main homie been popping, he been out here getting bigger. I can't knock his hustle, it's hard to not hate on that. I'm at war with self at all times, can't you get the picture? Hey yo dog, them feelings kill that drama, stack your figures, mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me will I fall? Tell me will I rise up, but these haters made them all. Tell me will I ever be come closer to my dreams? I've been out you down bad, feel like no one on my team. Hey kid, cut the script, yo, I'm right here like what you mean. I've been on this journey with you since your was just a teen. In and out through every scene. You my dog, you my kin, you my brother, you my friend. Hey yo, you my.
Yeah, that's right. That's Me and You, AJ Causey. That's right, man. So that one is in the Project 40, available on all streaming platforms.
Yes, sir.
Produced by Ya Boy. That's right, with that 90s flavor. We were just talking off air. Let's talk a little bit more and touch more on the songwriting process, on how you can, put such personal things into your music. Because, like, that song, it's got a dope beat, it's got a dope flow, but if you really listen to what it's about, It's pretty personal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about that.
Yeah, so like I feel like artists that choose to, storytelling that way and like dig deep down, as far as in that matter, they have one or two ways. Cause I know some artists that get to writing as soon as something happens, and I'm never the person that's like that. Like I've always had to go through something, had to get over it, and then I have to put myself back in that situation mentally in order to write the song.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like I don't think with any storytelling I've ever done in my music, it's never been right after.
Right.
Like, I let some time, let me get over it and everything, and then like I have to put myself mentally back in it. Even like love songs I write today will be about my high school sweetheart, So I enjoyed that because I see power in my work from doing so. For an artist to an emotion that you're no longer feeling, to put yourself back in that emotion. It's easy for you to go off on somebody when you upset right now and then you're going to apologize tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm putting myself back into this mentally. And I remember exactly how I felt when this happened,
Yeah. Dope, man. All right, let's go ahead and get into this next one. Go ahead and introduce it.
Yo. The second track is titled Juice. Let's get at it. That's about the rise of it. Since y'all know what it is, for the GGHB out there, dog. In the words of Walt Davis in this thing, he said, fuck rehab, nigga back on, dog. Yeah, switching up my position, been politicking on pensions, no longer missing, I'm hitting on everything that I'm spitting. My told me I got it, I'm on it, get the picture, I'm moving a different movement, don't give a f if you listen out. I got more heart than these bandits that's really branded, they polish, I'm still a bandit, but snapping the greatest hand is ain't got too far, but to say we made it from nothing. My no longer love me, picked up my heart and got to step it. I got more strength than you think, I built my brand to the top. These niggas hating on me in silence, they must want me to flop. Saying you give all you got, I'm giving you reason to stop. You was the women's league, you're on this shot. I push the clock and press locks to make flock look reminder. I got the juice like my name was Bishop of Pop. You need to stop it, no one popping, no chances for other options. Cum laude in this game like I graduated Johns Hopkins. So come and stop me, bowled up like Rocky. You talk your you might get hit, you better watch me. Been in the gym, been moving weight like I'm a bodybuilder. You bout to build a mother, you ain't nothing realer. Misunderstanding, I thought you landed the perfect verse upon a beat, but yet I see you vanish. These dropping all that bull, that sweet as candy. I've been on it consistently, so now you know the man be. Now check it, know it's me, know it's 40G coming up and down your feed. Knowing GHB be running every ad that you see. I'm on one and check I'm grown now until I'm in my rear view. The kid got the throne, now I'm home, ho. And I've been on the grind all God day, tryna figure out my way. Anyway, sticking to the plan, make these haters understand I'm the mother man, okay. I play the game anywhere it go. I've been plotting on the low, I've been plotting on the war, nah. You suckers silly thinking you can play with me. I need to cool down anyway, but throwing shade on me. Play my position, check I'm straight defensive. These niggas tryna take what I got, you must be tripping. If my anxiety on edge, you won't catch me slipping. I've been dipping from lane to lane, might consider drifting. Big tipper, but slow sipper. Causey a code, you better bring yo, then hope they don't fold. I done seen more, go change on their own. I don't trust no, I'm focused on more figures. I won't flip a coin at all unless I know the price is right. Feel that I won't reach the top, the reasons I can't sleep at night. My dog was down over a chick, he had to save a life. Got his game tight and came back, told her, you should've got it. 90 on one, you gotta ride up till the song done. I just signed the Bentley, getting it poppin' till I own one. Until I'm gone, son, I'm the gold one. Somebody had to kick the dough in, guess I'm the bold one. Forever chose one, ain't got no tags on my toes, son. I guess you froze, son. Listen, cold one before your old one. Don't lose yourself enough and come up tryna kill it over. I'm sick, got no sympathy for rich. Catch a leak with you, calculating kinda six figures. I'm on one, once again, boy, I'm grown now. Tell them in my rear view, I got the throne, now I'm home. And I've been on the grind all God day, tryna figure out my way. Anyway, sticking to the plan, make these haters understand I'm the mother man, okay. I play the game anywhere it go. I've been plotting on the low, I've been plotting on the war, nah. You suckers silly thinking you can play with me. I need to cool down anyway for throwing shade on me.
Ooh, that boy good, he done it again. Every time this be doing it, and you ain't ready. Y'all better step your bars up, cause if you don't, go
AJ Causey with Juice. That's right, man. That ending part right there is hilarious, man.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to my boy at Sir Niles. I got you, bro.
There it is, man. Talk about how that record came to be.
Yeah, so that record was same as me and you, talking about all the things that I had went through between relationships, between friends and everything, life itself. But just on a more upbeat, on a more, I guess, like mainstream, type of feel with me doing the auto-tune. I don't necessarily agree with auto-tune, but I'll do it every now and then. Just depends on how I'm feeling with the track. But I felt like how my flow went on it and everything. And after I had wrote that Pac line, I was like, I'm going to call this Juice. I think this is going to hold hard. If people going to be like, yeah, I like Juice over me and you. I already knew.
Yo, speaking of Juice, man, that's a great movie, by the way.
Oh, yeah, definitely
Dope. All right, cool, man. So, we're talking about the project that you're getting ready to release pretty soon, right? Let's go ahead and get into that.
Okay, yeah. So 40 was just like an introduction into the Songwriters EP that I'm getting ready to release. Basically, this time that I'm going through right now is just full of emotion. So, like, listen to me and you listen to Juice, you hear me vocally speaking out all my emotions that I've had over everything that I went through these last couple of months. And then with the Songwriters EP, it's more like on a love tip, relationship issues and whatnot that people can relate to. Anytime I introduce myself, whether to radio personnel or to anybody that's in the industry or in other industries, I always say I'm a songwriter and an artist. But then again, I don't have anything to show for the songwriting part, outside of my own work. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and put the Songwriters EP together where I'm not doing any vocals on there. I got one track to myself where I'm just rapping, a storytelling more so. But the other tracks that are on the EP, I wrote for a couple of vocalists that I had met out here since I've been out here. So definitely, I'm excited for people to hear it because, me writing for girl vocals, telling a story against myself, that gives you a hint what kind of song that may be. Shout out to Bodacious Thing for that. So yeah, definitely. That's definitely coming soon, early 2022.
There it is, man. So what is the differences, if there is any, between writing for somebody else and writing for yourself?
You hoping that they'll be able to deliver how you want it or even better than you want it. I don't necessarily write a song and then dish it out to different people. It's like once someone agrees to it, then I write it to your tone, to like what I think that, or from listening to your personal music. I'll write it to make sure that you'll be able to be comfortable with it. Also, what I like to do as well is I'll explain the concept to an artist and ask them to, when you've experienced a situation like this, what emotions, what words, what emotions, what phrases do you think of? So that way it kind of feels like, that way it makes them part of my creative box as well, where you're putting your input in and we putting this together. I'm putting the words together, laying the foundation for it, for you to tweak it.
Right. So when you're writing, are you, you're writing for somebody else, you already have that artist in mind. It's what it sounds like to me.
When I'm writing for somebody else, I have an artist in mind, but I don't officially start writing until I have an agreement with an artist that they want to do.
So you never just write a song and then put it in the vault and say, "Oh, that's a banger," but I'm gonna wait till I feel it's right for somebody. You never have that situation? No, okay. And when you're writing, are you writing to a beat already, or is it because a lot of songwriters will write to acoustic guitars, just to get the lyrics down, or piano, real simple, and then they worry about the arrangement after? What's your process?
For the most part, I'll come up with a melody with just the words, if anything, and then I'll go searching for a beat that fits those words, fits the mood of the song.
Yeah. Songwriting is so interesting to me because it's so important, and a lot of people don't realize that there is songwriters. Like the average song listener will just think like, "Oh, this is my favorite Drake song," right? But they don't realize that there's like songwriters, and there's a whole situation behind it. You know, they'll create songs and it'll be like they'll shop them around or stuff like that, and that whole thing is just crazy. It's kind of like it's like another world of like producers with beats, but with lyrics, right?
Yeah, because the thing about it, transitioning from, you know, the words going from the songwriter's hand to, you know, the vocals of the actual artist, you know, as far as like singers in the industry and everything, it's a difference because the songwriter probably can't deliver it the way that artist can. You know what I'm saying? It's just like imagine if my auntie had wrote and recorded Beyonce's To the Left. You know, it wouldn't sound the same. You know?
Yeah. No, I feel it. And you know, did it take some getting used to writing for the female's perspective?
No. I would consider myself pretty empathetic, where I can always put myself in someone else's shoes, male or female, depending on what the situation is. I feel like some people don't, but as far as let me speak on myself, I choose to seek out understanding.
Nice. Now, have you ever had a female artist tell you, this is dope, but this is not how I would react as a woman? Can we change this and that?
Yes, and I love that. And I love when someone, if you say no but have an alternative, then I'm cool with it. If you just say no and then it's like, okay, do you have a solution? You know what I'm saying? We can always talk about the problem. Yeah. But, you know, not everyone has a solution. So I'm always up for that, especially if you have an alternative. Like, I'm like it was something I had wrote down for one of the tracks on the EP. And the artist was like, I don't feel comfortable saying that. How about I say da-da-da-da-da-da? No, I was like, that works too. I like that. Like,
yeah.
So.
Have you heard of that software that helps songwriting?
No,
I can't remember the name of it. I just see ads of it on YouTube. You know, like on YouTube when you watch specific type of videos, they send you ads similar to Yeah, like I started seeing videos about like writing songs, and it's pretty much like it's like a helper. It's almost like having that extra person in the studio when you're trying to finish a line and you're like, what? And then somebody says something like, it's kind of like that. So like you would type in maybe like the last lyric you can't think of, right? Yeah. And then it'll shoot out like a bunch of different phrases and combinations.
Okay.
And then I feel like it'd be pretty helpful for like writer's block, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's a thing. But I don't know much about the songwriting world, so I don't know if that's looked down upon or what. Or, you know, maybe like in production, like, you know, certain things are looked down upon. Or I don't know, whatever.
Like, yeah, if it's anything like Rhyme Zone.
Rhymes, is that, maybe that's the one? I don't know. What is that like?
Rhyme Zone is just you looking for words that rhyme with whatever you're trying to rhyme with.
Oh, okay.
If you would be like, you using Rhyme Zone? People look down on it.
It's almost like a diss, like, this one's using Rhyme Zone. Yeah. No, I don't know if it's that. I just know that it sends out. It doesn't just give you like a word that rhymes with it. It gives you like a phrase. Like a full sentence almost. Okay, that would make sense. So a
whole next line. Okay.
So yeah, like that would make sense with what you're
cool.
You're inputting. But yeah, no, that's funny. All right, dude, man. Yeah, that's what's up, dude. So you know, what else besides music? I seen you post on your Instagram something that seemed like you were hinting you were wanting to get into film and television as an actor.
Yeah. So a homie of mine, he's transitioning into music, so I've been helping him with that. He's an actor, and so he's been helping me transition over into acting. That's hard. It's so hard. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
because I'm not used to being on camera. So I mean, like even when shooting music videos, I'm just getting used to it. And I've been doing videos for like 4 or 5 years, you know, but I'm just getting used to it.
It's starting to now get comfortable.
Yeah. So now you want me to not have a beat, not be performing, and I have to be all dramatic. I can be dramatic audio-wise, you know what I'm saying? Because no one looking at me but the engineer in the studio.
In the booth, lights off and everything.
Yeah. I'm in my own zone. But jumping into another creative world, it's a little nerve-wracking because, you know, you don't want to offend whoever is already mastering this craft. And then, you know, and if you end up mastering it, you don't got to worry about people that's been trying to master it hating on you. So,
I'm going to turn this off. Give me a second.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude, acting, it seems so crazy. Like, I just seen a thing on Instagram today where I think it was like Pirates of the Caribbean, right? And the dudes are like on a boat and the scene is like they're on a boat, the waves are going crazy and some shit's going on, they're fighting something, and then the bottom one is they're on a boat and there's a green screen behind them and there's literally nothing there.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, it's so convincing, and I'm just like, man, this is crazy. Like, you're able to like get into that situation and then also like crying on command. Like, I've heard of that. Like, that's intense.
I think that's why like special effects movies always, like win. Like they trump any other movie.
Yeah. And then the other thing too that I think a lot about is intimate scenes. Like what that is like, because I see some scenes and I'm just like, bro, if I was in that situation, I would have had a boner. Like, how do you control yourself? How do you control yourself? How do you keep the professionalism? What is like this? What is the vibe on set during that moment? Because that scene, when you watch it in the movie, it's so intimate and it feels like the real thing, right?
Yeah.
And then, you take yourself out of it, or you see like behind the scenes and there's like 50 motherfuckers in a room with them behind the camera.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's so, they sell that so good. It's just like a lot of respect for actors.
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah. I commend all actors for that, because like you think about it, when you recording, it can just be you and the engineer, or you can be tracking yourself, so you could act and be any way that you want to. But it's easier for you to be in your zone because it's just you in there.
Yeah.
But for you to do something intimate or be angry or whatever the case may be for this one scene, and like really be into it, whether it's you and whoever your co-star is in that scene, it's 50 people watching you. Like, you just exiled everybody out of your peripheral. You're like, you just like,
yeah. And not to mention the memory. Like, you got to remember the whole script. Is that really how that works? Or there's like, you go line by line or scene by scene, or do you really have to remember the entire script of the movie?
No, for the most part, I haven't gotten too deep into it. I'm still just, doing background and commercials and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just like line by line.
Okay.
Yeah. I know like one person I've been really looking up to and following in their footsteps is Will Smith, and that's what he would do. It was, remember the whole episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he had said in his book and everything that in some episodes you'll catch him mouthing someone else's part. And I thought that was cool. I thought it was funny because they had caught on to it. Like I caught on to it. Well, I caught on to it, 20 years later. But, but to go back and go see a couple of episodes, you're like, he surely is moving his lips right now.
Yeah. That's intense, dude. Like, I don't even know if I could. He must have been great in elementary school when you got to remember all of like your timetables and all of your like different things. He must have been great at that, because my memory is horrible. I wouldn't be able to memorize an entire script for that, and other people's parts too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you read his whole book?
I read certain chapters that would stick out to me, because I'm trying to think. He was at the Dolby Theater, so he talked about basically like every chapter of the book,
right,
for the most part. So like I kind of like heard it live, and then I went back and like read the full chapter of certain things that I wanted. Like the last chapter of the book is love, and he's a loving guy, and so he said that's always just been his desire. He's not just talking about like with his marriage or relationship. He's talking about with his father, with people, with the audience, with any co-stars that he had. His main desire is love, his kids, everything.
Right.
So.
Have you seen his series on YouTube about that whole process with the book? He has a series called like Worst Shape of My Life.
The Best Shape of My Life.
Best Shape of My Life at worst.
Yeah.
I fucked that up.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
I'm only like on episode 3, but
it's dope.
It's crazy.
It's dope.
He documents the entire thing. And it seems like those writing sessions for the book were like really intense. Like they would have some really crazy times writing that. So that's pretty crazy. What about for songwriting? Do you have any songwriters that you look up to?
Songwriters that I look up to? Whoever's penning for Drake. Whoever's penning for Drake.
Yeah.
But Jermaine Dupri, definitely. Quincy Jones, of course. when it comes to getting all these people together, like for the Kansas project and now for the Songwriters EP, that's the main person I look up to, like Quincy Jones, how he did the "We Are the World" song. I'm like, you got every superstar at that time. Like you had to have like the biggest plug power ever to do something like that. So that was crazy. That was like one of the first stars I took a picture with in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But like Jermaine Dupri, I didn't even know we had a Songwriters Hall of Fame.
You just told me that right now. I didn't even know that.
Like me neither. Like I think like Jermaine Dupri had got inducted like 2018, 2019. And so I thought that was cool. Because the thing with Jermaine Dupri that I know this is probably rambling on, but the thing I thought that was cool is that, you know, like he could pen anything for any kid star, you know, and just make them boom.
That's true. He did have that. There was that time where he was just like making kid stars happen.
Yeah, left and right. He had Bow Wow, the Brat. I mean, just going crazy.
Yeah, he also had Criss Cross.
Yeah.
Right. They might have been the first ones. I'm not sure, you know, with the whole like from him. Yeah, that's crazy. I recently saw the documentary about Quincy Jones on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that?
Q.
Yep. Yeah. That was a real cool like educational moment. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know. And that dude was doing major work at like 22 years old.
Yeah.
Like seriously. Yeah. I looked at that and it made me feel like, damn, I ain't doing shit with my life. What the fuck? This dude is like, you know, in his early 20s and doing like major stuff, right? Yeah. So that was crazy. That was a big eye opener. I personally like Khaled. A lot of people don't like Khaled because of how he is, but he's really good also at doing the similar, right? I wouldn't go as far as saying he's a modern day Quincy Jones, but he's really good about putting the right artists in the right room together, and making hits.
Definitely, and he just says his name at the beginning. I love him. I love him.
He's super hilarious too.
Yeah.
He's a real cool, funny guy to watch.
He's a lovable guy.
Have you seen the DJ Khaled Lost at Sea clips? No?
No.
That fool gets lost on his jet ski in the middle of the ocean, and he's on Snapchat the entire time. And you could tell when like the DJ Khaled persona goes away, and he's being like just himself. Like he's like, guys, I'm being serious. Like if you find this, like he really thinks he's about to die. It's crazy.
That's
but
funny.
Nah, he handled it just like DJ Khaled would.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. All right, man. So to wrap it up, man, let people know where they can find you, all that good stuff. Plug in your new up and coming project. Anything you want to do, man. Go ahead.
Yes, indeed. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Causey. At CAU5EY. You can find me on YouTube, AJ Causey. It's AJCAUSEY. 40 is streaming now, as well as Roll of Dice, as well as Kansas, as well as Causey. My fourth project and second EP is my Songwriters EP, Fade, is dropping January 2022.
There it is, man. AJ Causey in the house. Let's go, baby. We'll catch you guys on the next one. You're locked in. It's Squad Talk. Peace.
Squad.